Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Wuthering Waves. In today's video, we're going to be going through our reroll guide, but before we get into that, we are doing another $100 giveaway in this video to do with our Wuthering Waves release giveaways. So be subscribed, leave a comment, you'll go into the draw. I'll announce the winner about a week away in a community post. This is our fourth one, so we have 3 other giveaways ongoing on the channel if you want to go and join them as well. But for this one, rerolling. Now, before we get into anything, rerolling in this game is going to be absolute hell. The game does give us a lot of great features like the select banner and stuff like that. So if you're not too stressed about rerolling and you don't enjoy it, I highly recommend not doing it in this game because it is going to be a nightmare and you do get a bunch of good stuff anyway on your account. Weapon selector, character selector. It's pretty decent. So they made it to where you don't need to reroll, but if you want to, just know it's going to be super sweaty and you may get bored of it pretty quick. So before we get into all my notes on screen on the reroll processes, I just want to show you inside the game when you get to when you unlock the summons. Because basically, if we jump over here to this one, you're going to see this, and this is basically the story playthrough, and this is where you unlock summons. You'll go into this room, you'll see Mortefi, you'll come over to Baiji, and you'll do this minigame. I kind of hope they remove the minigames to that fun, but hey, it is what it is. But when you get to this point in this room, you talk to Baiji and stuff like that. After you do this tiny little minigame, that is when you are going to unlock summons. Now, before you get here, you're basically just going to play through the game on rails. Don't go exploring too far and wide because you just want to get here as fast as possible. Follow the goal, basically the main quest line, and that's about it. Skip any text dialogue you can. Some of it cannot be skipped, unfortunately. Some of it can. The skip button is going to be in the top left corner, so if you see it, skip stuff. Obviously, if you want to play through story, you do it. But for the reroll process, and there it is. That is where you get the convene. So just skip as much as you can, get here as quick as possible, unlock convene, and then you can go ahead and start looking to pop some summons. Now, if we go into what banners we actually have, these are the banners that we have. So the first one here is going to be the Gian one, which is the rate up one. Then we have this one, which is our standard banner, and then this is our beginner banner. Now, the way they've described it is once you complete this beginner banner, which is 50 pulls to get it, because it's discounted at 8 pulls per 10 pull, it's actually only 40 pulls you need to accumulate to do your 50 pulls. So that is the beginning banner. Once you complete this one is when you unlock your select banner. So this banner will give you a random one of the beginner 5 stars, and then you can get your select one after that. So just keep that in mind. So this one and this one use the same summon currency, and this one uses a different summon currency, and generally this one is the one that you want to be using your asteroids on, not on these ones, but there is one exception which I will talk about in the reroll process. But that's just so we understand the banners, because you can do a reroll process on each one of these banners. Something else I want to mention before we go into my other processes, I do believe a perfectly valid way to play the game. Well, to be fair, you play the game however the fuck you want, but an option for quote-unquote rerolling is just play through the game, do the beginner banner. Once you finish the beginner banner and get a character, if you don't like that character, maybe go again. Like, that is a perfectly valid option. It's probably going to take you a couple hours to get there on day one. But if you get a character that you're like, shit, this is just ruining my day, then there is that option to play through an account on day one. If you get the worst character you didn't want, then you can go again. That is definitely an option. But once again, that is also time consuming. Like I said, anything to do with any sort of rerolling is time consuming in this game. But there you go. That is a basic look at the banners that we have in the game. And so let's jump back over here into my sheet so we can take a look at it. Now, the rewards we get on day one, as soon as you log in, you're going to get 20 illustrious sides, which is your standard banner pulls. They can be used on the standard banner or the beginner banner. You're also going to get 200 asteroids, and whatever asteroids, that's the premium currency, whatever other asteroids you get just along the way through speeding your way up until unlocking summons. Then on day 2, so the rewards that we got given through the live stream, they've announced that they will be released on day 2 and day 3. They actually specify the date, but I'm not sure if accounts that start on the date of day 3 of release, whether all these will be instantly in the mail or whether you do have to wait for day 2 of your account and day 3 of your account. Not too sure exactly how that will work, but just keep in mind for those starting at global, it'll be day 2 where you get another 10 standard pulls, and then day 3 where you get 10 exclusive pulls or rate up banner pulls. We also have 3 codes. If there are any more codes, I will add them into the pinned comment and the description. We don't know what they give us until we get into the game. I'm planning on releasing this video maybe like an hour before the release of the game, so just keep in mind if anything major does change on any of this, always check the pinned comment, and I will update you guys on anything. And if we do find some crazy new method of rerolling, I will update a video for you guys. So that's the basics there. Like I said in my notes, 35 to 45 minutes to unlock the summons. It's going to be hell is pretty much what it is. So if you want to reroll for the beginner banner, like I mentioned, there is that method. You can just play the game. Just put all your, your standard pulls, your lustrous tides into the beginner banner. Get a character. If you don't like it, well, maybe just start a fresh account. But if you do want to like target rerolling on this banner, then you're going to have to do 20 summons on day 1, which is your beginner summons. Then you can either from there go straight away and go search the world to get 10 more pulls. Or you can wait till day 2, do 10 more summons, and then go search the world for 10 more pulls, because that's what you will need to do. So unfortunately, the spreading across days is quite tedious, and that's why I mentioned that method of just playing an account, and if you get one you don't like, maybe go again. But for this one, once you've done your 30 pulls, which is the 20 summons from day 1 and the 10 summons from day 2, that's when you'll need the other 10 pulls. Now, like I said, you can go try and get those 10 pulls on the first day, so that then if you get it early on the beginner banner, well, then you're set anyway, and you can choose whether you want it or not. But this is the only time that I would ever consider using Astrite on a non-rater banner, is for rerolling to just get this done as fast as possible. Once again, I always recommend using your Astrite only on rater banners, but like I said, if you are rerolling and you're just trying to get this done as fast as possible, get the character you want from the basics, and then move on, well, that is definitely an option. Once again, some people still won't do it, but just know it is an option. It's the only time I would actually consider doing so. Now, the next option is the option I am going to be rerolling personally, and that is standard banner rerolling. That is, play day 1, play your 35 to 45 minutes, unlock summons, do your 20 summons from your pre-reg, use the Astrite that you have there on the Gian banner, and if you don't get a 5-star, scrap the account and move on. That is the process I am going to do. I think that is the simplest process for those that want to do day 1 rerolling without having to wait for day 2 and day 3 to get the extra rewards. Just note with this one, you can come back on day 2 and put another 10 pulls into the standard banner, and then come back on day 3 and put another 10 pulls into the Gian banner. But just know, by doing standard banner pulls like this, you're not going to be able to like come back on day 2 and go, oh, I'll get the extra 10 and then I'll see what beginner character I get from the beginner banner. No, because you're doing it on the standard banner, which means you don't have any pity built into the beginner banner. So by doing standard banner pulls, you are foregoing your chance to reroll later on the beginner banner, if that makes sense. So this one is more so summon day 1 and then scrap the account. Yes, you can come back day 2, put 10 more into the standard. If you get it, hype. A free standard in 30, and then you get another one in 40, and then you get another one in 80, which is slick. That's pretty good too. So you can come back on day 2 and 3 of these accounts to keep going, but just know that is the process. Then finally, we have the Gian banner rerollers. This is the Giga Sweat absolute hell. Don't even think about it. But if you do, I mean, good on you. But you can kind of do this one in standard banner in one. So this one, you basically just rush to summons. You use whatever, like maybe 1 or 2 summons that you have on day 1. If you don't get him, you come back on day 3. Now, if you are doing the comeback on day 3, I would definitely come back on day 2 as well. And when you come back on day 2, just make sure you're doing that, because we don't know, once again, if it's going to be like you've got to log in for 3 days to get those extra bonus rewards. I don't know exactly how it works, so just play it safe, log in on day 2. But just note, with this Gian banner, you can actually combo this with either one of the other methods. You can do the standard banner method, where you then pop your 20 summons on the standard banner, kind of like what I'm going to do. So if you get something early, at least it's a decent account. Or with the Gian banner reroll method, you can actually use summons on the beginner banner. The 20 illustrious tides that you get at the start and the 10 on day 2, you can be using those on the beginner banner as you're rerolling for Gian. And then if you come back on day 3 and you don't get that Gian, well, maybe you've got like 6 accounts set up that you can just go get those last few summons you need to get your beginner banner complete. And then at least you can see what character you want to roll with on that account from the beginner banner. But that pretty much sums up the ways that you have to reroll in this game. Like I said, it's an absolute nightmare. I am doing the standard banner process so that I can just reroll an account in 35 to 45 minutes, see if I get something, move on. I hate the whole spreading it across days, because I want to just be sweating and I want to get an account that I like, and then I want to play the game. The other option, once again, that I did mention is that beginner banner. You just play through the game, get your beginner banner to pity, see what character you get. And if you don't like it, maybe run a new one. That is probably something I will consider doing after about 2 hours of rerolling if I don't get any luck on the standard banner method, because at the end of the day, I do also want to play the game. But just know, those are the methods that we have. It is all quite tedious as hell and annoying, but I just somehow, don't ask me why, I enjoy rerolling and I find it fun. So I am pathetic. If you're like me, not so cool. But hey, it is what it is. We got to do what we got to do. It's a game, have fun. If you have fun rerolling, do it. If you don't, don't. Doesn't matter. Anyway, that is the summary of the rerolling. Once again, we are doing the giveaway in this video. I do have 3 other videos ongoing with $100 giveaways as well. So just be subscribed and leave a comment on each one of the videos if you want to join all of them, and you'll go into the draw. Once again, we will be announcing winners about a week away in community posts. And yeah, let me know if you're going to actually reroll after watching how hell it's going to be. I mean, I'm still going to do it because I'm pathetic, but you know, let me know how you are. Anyway, as always, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.